Yesterday, that is, on July 5th, two incidents in WeChat moments in the evening attracted everyone's attention. One is that singer Coco Lee committed suicide due to depression. This is of course a tragedy and deserves sympathy and attention. One is that the outdated American actress Madonna seems to be in danger of life. Madonna, a new generation of young people may not understand. In the early years, she sang songs and starred in Mrs. Perron and other movies, but her private life is very inconsistent with the life norms of men and women that we Chinese agree with. Of course, she is an American, so it is not necessary to use my Chinese culture educate her, can be regarded as a controversial figure. Of course, it is not always a good thing that a person's life is in danger. Is it worthy of sympathy? Of course sympathy is also possible. However, it is a pity that many Chinese people, including many of my friends, have forgotten that yesterday was a day more worthy of commemoration by the Chinese people, which is the 14th anniversary of the July 5th terrorist attack. 14 years ago, on July 5th, a large number of terrorists organized an attack on Chinese and Uyghur people in Urumqi, Xinjiang, killing more than 100 people and injuring more than 1,700. This should be a terrorist attack with the largest number of casualties in the past 70 years since the founding of our country. In a sense, it is similar to the significance of 9/11 in the United States. However, for such an incident where a large number of compatriots died, few people in some elite WeChat groups know about it, remember the date, and even commemorate it. Is this normal? We might as well imagine that the 9/11 incident, can the American elite not know, remember, or commemorate it? However, we really cannot accuse these elites of having no compassion, no humanity, and no love. Abe died. They commemorated a lot and said to the critics of Abe, neighbors are mourning, we don't know each other, the Queen of England died, they are very sad, saying that a kind old man is gone, don't take pleasure in his misfortune. This kind old man was in the Hitler era on the day of 9/11, they were all New Yorkers and Americans, whether the US Immigration Service agreed or not, saying that those who do not sympathize with the victims of 9/11 are inhuman and worse than beasts. In these scenes, which one of them is not full of kindness and love, wishing to become the Virgin Mary or an angel? However, why, on the day of the terrorist attack and martyrdom of our own compatriots in China, July 5th, and March 1st, they all lost their voices again? A big problem here is that my country's own public media does not pay enough attention to these matters. Of course, the media's lack of attention is itself related to the attitude of the media elites. The media elites use their discourse power to deliberately emphasize certain things, at the same time, they deliberately downplay and cover up certain things, people's collective consciousness and collective memory. Under the circumstances of dominating the public information environment and affecting people's collective consciousness, some media elites and intellectual elites in our country have started a very bad operation, inducing people to agree with the opinions and values of the United States and the West in the field of public opinion, such as English the Queen, Abe, and 9/11 need and even must mourn, cover up or suppress opposition to the United States and the West, such as avoiding the Palestine issue, and so on. This makes many audiences, including elite audiences, potentially defenders of the American position. Therefore, it has been more than 5 years since the United States launched a trade war with China, and there are still a large number of Chinese intellectuals who are reflecting on what China has done wrong, which has made the American master unhappy. At the same time, certain memorable events related to China have been deliberately downplayed, misinterpreted, and forgotten. For example, major historical events such as the signing of the Nanjing Treaty on August 29 basically faded out of the public commemorative field of vision. The Dragon Boat Festival was slandered by the former director of Yunnan Luo last year. Literate, he doesn't seem to understand Wu Zix's real fate, and the anniversary of the martyrdom of Chinese nationals such as July 5th and March 1st was forgotten by more people. Commemorating a certain day is not simply that everyone must be sad on the day. Celebrating a certain festival is not simply that everyone enjoys happiness together. In a sense, anniversaries and festivals are important to constructing an imaginary community like a nation-state. It may be more accurate to translate it into a conceptual community, is of paramount importance. It is precisely because, at the same point in time, people in different spaces are happy for one thing at the same time, or sad for one thing at the same time, everyone has common emotions, forms a common collective consciousness, collective memory, and recognizes that each other is self rather than other, each other recognizes that each other is the people of the same nation and the same country, rather than non-my race. In fact, a passport cannot influence people's inner identity, many Chinese elites who do not have American passports are now Americans in spirit, and the common commemoration of certain anniversaries is the collective memory shared by people in different spaces. Consciousness, the key link of cohesive identity. Therefore, anniversaries are very important to the community, which is related to the recognition of the community members and the cognitive coordinates of the community members. Isn't Coco Lee worthy of mourning? Of course it's worth it. Can't Madonna be sympathetic? Sure. However, please don't forget that July 5th is a day for us as Chinese to commemorate the victims of our compatriots.